year-old drivers, approximately 1 in 8 or 11% will be involved in a crash during the first 3 years of driving. 1 in 8. Approximately 1 out of 11 16-year-olds will have a serious crash before their 17th birthday. For every 2 miles driven, the average driver makes 200 observations. That's the average. Some of you are above the average or below. For every 2 miles driven, the average driver makes 200 observations, 40 decisions, and 1 mistake. No one's perfect. Perfect does not exist in our world. So again, for every 2 miles driven, the average driver makes 200 observations, 40 decisions, and 1 mistake. Once every 500 miles, one of those decisions leads to a near collision. Maybe you were driving too fast. You almost rear-ended someone. Due to lack of experience, the largest category of errors in young driver fatal crashes is speeding. The number one thing that all of you will do is speed. Speed, speed, speed. You're late to your job, you're speeding. You're late home, you're speeding. You're late to practice, you're speeding. Speed. Slow down. The most dangerous time of day is the 3-hour period between 2 to 5 p.m. I want to hammer this in your head. Hammer it in your head. 2 to 5 p.m. is the most dangerous time. Beginning drivers, 15, 9, 16, 17, 18. If you're 18, 10 years, 28 years old. If you're 17, 10 years, 27. If you're 16, 26. It takes 10 years. 17%, 9 p.m. to midnight. You fall asleep, you're tired. 13%, midnight to 6 a.m. You have no business out after 10 p.m. because you are tired, you're sleepy, you're gonna fall asleep at the wheel. You don't need to be driving. You need to be home doing your homework, cleaning up your room, taking care of your chores, telling your mom and dad, hey, I love you. I really appreciate you. Is there anything else I can do because you take care of me and allow me to drive and you don't charge me rent? 51% of crashes could happen in daylight. The highest number of deaths are between May and April. The highest number of deaths. May and October. The highest number of deaths, May and October. 33% of crashes happen Friday night, Saturday night. Got that paycheck. Varsity won the game. The boys or girls are going to the States. You got a scholarship. You feeling good, as you should. For young driver, fatal car crashes occur, 97% occur on roadways with 55 miles or less. 76% occur on rural roads, dirt roads. Slow your speed down. Why are you driving fast? It's the soft shoulder. You're going to roll your car over. No, I want to go fast. You get ready to crash, bro. 69% on sections of the road where no traffic control devices were in effect. You hit a tree. You go around a curve. You lose control of your car. 53% while driving on straight roads, you go off and crash. 20% at stop signs. You blow the stop sign. A guy almost hit me today. Had a big truck. I turned, going down. He ran the stop sign. I just stopped. I'm like, bro, didn't you see me? I paused. He looked at me. I looked at him. People do not stop at stop signs. 14% of roads where it's 35 or less. That's in the neighborhood. Neighborhoods are 20 miles an hour, 35 or less. People are flying through neighborhoods. 11% on roads where traffic control devices are in effect. Running lights. Not stopping at reds. Not yielding going into roundabouts. Last one. 16 and 17-year-old drivers, but because of COVID, this could be 18 to 19, or it could be probably 17 to 21 because COVID has taken a lot of life from all of us. A lot of people are in their 20s. They don't drive. They want to drive. So this number, I think, is up some. 16 to 17-year-olds risk of being killed in a crash increase when there's a person in the car. One person, 44%. You mean if I have my one friend in, you're going to be talking, you're going to be on the phone. Hey, did you see this? Man, he looks good. Man, she looks good. Bro, you just ran a light. When you have two people in the car, it doubles to 88%. 88. And then 3 quadruples to 132%. Let's review this again. Because of COVID, there are people 21, 24, 25. They're in their 20s. If you're 21, 31. If you're 18, I'm going 10 years. It takes you 10 years to learn how to drive and be consistent. And we talked about this. It takes your brain matures at 25 years old. So you think about that. Imagine someone at 21 who hasn't driven and they're learning how to drive. Imagine the stress and anxiety that they feel. They don't know directions. They don't know how to put gas in the car. I'm telling you the truth. Just think about that for a moment. I mean, you're 21, you're 24, and driving does not make you an adult. I want you, driving does not make you an adult. It's hard enough being a 16-year-old, learning how to drive, getting your license, going to school. 17, after 18, you graduate, go to college. You got to drive from home to college. You're going to University of Texas. You got a tennis scholarship. Oral Roberts University, playing tennis. Imagine driving 800 miles in a snowstorm. You got a flat tire. You're lost. Your car breaks down. How terrifying. Just think about how terrifying. I don't know how to change your tire. We didn't go over that in driver's ed. My parents never showed me. I have to wait 2 hours for a tow truck. My phone is on zero. Just imagine the terrifying feeling. There are people out there like this. In crashes involving young drivers, 2/3 of those killed are the other passengers. Your friends aren't wearing seatbelts. You're hitting bicyclists. A lot of people ride bikes now. What do I see now on the road? I see older people in those e-scooters. Those are those $1,500, $1,800 bikes that we can't afford. Grandma, grandpa, they're 65, kids growing up, they spent $10,000 on 2 bikes. Those things go 30 and 40 miles an hour. They're crashing. Yes. Pedestrians, people are walking in the middle of the street. If there's no sidewalk, you need to walk toward traffic. You never turn your back against traffic. So I need you to think about this and visualize there's so much going on as a beginning driver, whether you're 16, 21, 23, 26, that whole 10-year period, bro, you're screwed. You got to grow up. You got to go from high school, go to college, get a job, get your career. All of you not going to the NFL. I'm sorry. All of you not going to be on TikTok and YouTube a content creator. I'm sorry. You don't have a lot of likes. You're not getting views. You're going to have to move out. You can't stay in mom and dad's basement. You got to get out. I'm going to stay with my cousin. You got to pay rent. Let's think about that. 10 years from 14 to 24. You're out of high school. High school is only 48 months. You think high school is only 48 months. Oh, my grades are good. No, your grades are not good. Oh, my coach is going to write me a letter. Your coach hates you because you are always late to gym. There's a lot to think about. So that whole 10-year period, you got to get organized. You got to grow up. You better be listening to your mom and dad. I'm just trying to give you real advice, but many of you are not listening. And we're going to keep pushing. Your parents need to be getting you a mid-size or larger vehicle. Again, your parents need to be getting you a mid-size. I'm pushing. Your parents need to be getting you a mid-size or larger vehicle. Teenagers, and I'm going to say 19. Well, that's after teen, 20, 21, 22, because that's the next subcategory. You have people who want to drive, but no one can take them to the DMV. They want to drive, but they don't have a car. They might have a job, but they take an Uber or Lyft. If you own a car, you're going to drive more miles. It's your mom and dad's car. It's not yours because you can't afford gas. You're going to put $20 in. That's going to last you 2 days. That's what adults do. Unless you send no money, you fill up that Escalade, that's $150. You put gas in the car, you know how much it costs. If you own your vehicle, you take more risk. Running lights, coming home, speeding. You receive more traffic violations. I won't ask you that right now. Be involved in more crashes. According to the Insurance for Highway Safety, before purchasing a vehicle, you should research the crash worthiness.